They are at the heart of the spending showdown in Washington. Joining us now with different views tonight, two local congressmen live from Capitol Hill. Republican Representative Peter Roskam represents parts of the west and northwest suburbs, and Democratic Representative Danny Davis, who represents the Loop, part of the south side, and a few near west suburbs. Good to have both of you with us. Congressman Roskam, where should we cut spending?
Well, I think the president had an opportunity to take some of his own advice, and that was last January. He came and visited House Republicans, and he said, we're not going to get anywhere on this if what we do is mischaracterize one another's plans and characterize them as throwing grandma out on the street and so forth. And unfortunately, the president was pretty shrill in his rhetoric today. I think there's nobody that's defending the status quo, and what we're saying is in order to save Medicare and Social Security and Medicaid, you've got to reform these programs because they're going broke. So the idea is this: folks 55 and above, no change whatsoever in Medicare. But 54 and below, you've got to change it to the type of program that Congressman Davis and I are on. It's known as a premium support program, like what federal employees have. And if you do that, and if we act now, we can save, and these systems can be there in place in the long run. But if we fail, if we don't act now, then we're going to have miserable choices in the future.
Congressman Davis, do you in fact have to reform all those programs now?
Well, I do think all of the programs are going to be reformed. As a matter of fact, I think the president proposed a very balanced approach where we're cutting practically everything that you can imagine, but we've got to watch how much we cut, where we cut, who we cut, and after we finish cutting, we still have a need for some additional revenue. And so I think the idea of making cuts but at the same time enhancing revenue gives us the opportunity not to go beyond the pale and cut services that are greatly needed and programs that people, for all practical purposes, must have.
What about the talk today about the president referring to the wealthy millionaires and billionaires, but in fact it's really about people who make $250,000 or more, hardly millionaires and billionaires. What about that?
Well, I don't think that the president was targeting millionaires, billionaires, or people who make certain amounts of money, other than to suggest that those who can afford to pay a little bit more. You know, the Bible says that to those to whom much is given, much is actually expected and desired in return. And so we're not talking about gouging individuals who earn more than $250,000, but we are talking about paying your fair share, paying a little bit more, so that some person who might get taken off Medicaid can remain, or Medicare can remain, or a person on disability services can still receive those. So I think it's balanced. You know, I hear all of this criticism, but I think the president had some very balanced proposals that we can all live with, and that's going to be good for America.
Congressman Roskam, I'll let you have the last quick final word here, and to paraphrase a familiar line from a television network I've heard about, was the president's idea fair and balanced?
I don't think it was. It was focusing on raising taxes, and the adverse impact in my district, and I think maybe in Congressman Davis's district, is if you raise the individual income tax rate, which the president wants to do, there's a number of companies that are S corporations that file at the individual income tax rate, which means you're going to raise taxes on job creators at the exact time that we're trying to create more buoyancy in the economy. It's a bad idea, and we shouldn't go down this road.
The debate will continue. Ours has to stop for now. Thanks to Representatives Roskam and Davis for their time with us tonight.